The American Civil War, a conflict etched in our national memory. A saga of brother against brother. A nation riven by the sins of its past. It is a history often told through the eyes of men. Their battles, their sacrifices, their victories, and their defeats. But what of the women? Did they merely watch and weep, tending to the home fires while husbands and sons marched off to the drumbeat of war? The truth, as is often the case, is far more complex, far more nuanced, and far more heroic. The women of the Civil War, both North and South, played roles far beyond the parlor and the hearth. They were participants, not bystanders, their contributions woven into the very fabric of the conflict. This is their story, a testament to their courage, their compassion, and their unwavering commitment to the causes they held dear. As the guns fell silent after each bloody engagement, a new battle commenced, a desperate struggle against disease and despair. It was in this crucible of suffering that women, often unheralded and unacknowledged, took on the mantle of mercy. They came from all walks of life, these angels of the battlefield, driven by a common purpose, to alleviate suffering and offer solace in the face of unimaginable horrors. Some, like Dorothea Dix, a tireless advocate for the mentally ill, found their calling in organizing vast networks of hospitals and medical care. Others, like Clara Barton, whose name would become synonymous with humanitarian aid, braved enemy fire to deliver desperately needed supplies to the front lines. With unwavering determination, she tended to the wounded, her small frame a beacon of hope amidst the carnage. Their days were long, their work grueling, their resources often stretched to the breaking point. Yet they persevered, driven by a deep wellspring of compassion and a belief in the inherent dignity of every human life. The Civil War was a conflict fought not only on bloody battlefields, but also in the shadows, a clandestine world of espionage and intrigue where information was a weapon as potent as any musket or cannon. And in this shadowy realm, women, often underestimated and overlooked, played a pivotal role. Their lives, circumscribed by the social conventions of the Victorian era, provided the perfect cover for their clandestine activities. While men in uniform aroused suspicion, women, cloaked in the guise of domesticity, moved freely across enemy lines, gathering intelligence, ferrying messages, and exploiting the very assumptions that sought to confine them. Some, like Elizabeth Van Lew, a wealthy widow living in Richmond, Virginia, the heart of the Confederacy, used their social standing to gain access to Confederate officials, gleaning vital information about troop movements, fortifications, and military plans. Their motives were as varied as their backgrounds. Some were driven by unwavering loyalty to their cause, others by a thirst for adventure, and still others by a deep-seated belief in the righteousness of their side. Among the most celebrated or vilified, depending on one's allegiance, of these clandestine operatives was Rose O'Neal Greenhow, a Washington socialite whose charm and beauty belied a keen intellect and an unwavering commitment to the Confederate cause. From the elegant parlors of her Washington, D.C. home, she cultivated relationships with powerful men, extracting secrets whispered during late-night soirees and clandestine rendezvous. Her information, smuggled out of the Capitol in coded messages and concealed dispatches, proved invaluable to the Confederate war effort. Her activities, however, did not go unnoticed. Union authorities, alerted to her clandestine activities, placed her under house arrest, hoping to curtail her influence. But Greenhow, ever resourceful, continued to communicate with her Confederate contacts, using coded messages, invisible ink, and even smuggling information out in baked goods. Her defiance, her audacity in the face of danger made her a legend in the South and a thorn in the side of the Union. She became a symbol of Southern defiance, her image appearing on Confederate currency, a testament to the power of one woman's courage and conviction. The life of a spy, male or female, was fraught with peril. Discovery meant imprisonment, even death. Yet these women, driven by a potent mix of patriotism, conviction, and a thirst for adventure, willingly embraced the risks, their contributions often proving pivotal in the outcome of battles and even the course of the war itself. They employed a range of tactics, from seduction and subterfuge to coded messages and concealed compartments. Some, like Elizabeth Bowser, a former slave who worked as a servant in the Confederate White House, used their positions to gather intelligence, their presence overlooked and underestimated, a testament to the insidious nature of prejudice. Their stories, often shrouded in secrecy and lost to history, are only now beginning to emerge, revealing the depth of their courage, their cunning, and their unwavering commitment to the causes they held dear. They were the whispers in the shadows, the unseen players in a deadly game, their contributions often overlooked, but no less vital to the course of the war and the fate of the nation. The tumult of the Civil War, a conflict that tore at the very fabric of the nation, brought forth a spirit of defiance, a yearning for change that transcended the boundaries of society's expectations. While men marched off to the rhythm of war drums, a different breed of soldier emerged. Women, driven by conviction, by a love for their country, dared to defy the conventions of their time and enlist in the very armies that swore to protect them. These women, their hearts aflame with patriotism, donned the uniforms intended for men, concealed their identities, and stepped onto the battlefields as active participants in the forging of a nation's destiny. Sarah Edmonds, Frances Clayton, Loretta Janetta Velasquez, names etched not in marble monuments but in the annals of courage, whispered tales of their daring feats passed down through generations. Their motivations were woven from threads of patriotism, a fervent belief in the cause, a yearning for adventure, and a desperate longing to protect their loved ones. Driven by such powerful forces, these women, armed with courage and determination, stepped onto the battlefields, their true identities veiled beneath the rough fabric of their uniforms. Among these extraordinary women stood Sarah Edmonds, who adopted the guise of Franklin Thompson to serve in the Union Army. Leaving behind her old life, Edmonds transformed herself into a man, her true identity carefully guarded, her determination fueled by a fervent belief in the Union cause. For Edmonds, the battlefield tested her physical strength and her ability to maintain her assumed identity under the constant scrutiny of war. Yet she persevered, her courage never faltering, her resolve solidifying with each passing battle. Her story speaks of the lengths to which individuals, driven by conviction and a love for their nation, would go to fight for what they held dear. But the battlefield exacted a heavy toll, not just in blood and sacrifice, but in the constant fear of discovery. Every encounter carried the potential to unravel the carefully constructed facade, to reveal her true identity. The weight of her secret became an invisible burden, shaping her experiences and adding complexity to her story. Yet, Edmonds, undeterred by the risks, embraced the life of a soldier, her commitment to the cause unwavering. She faced the enemy with the same bravery and determination as her male counterparts, proving that courage transcended gender. Through her unwavering dedication, Sarah Edmonds etched her name in the annals of the Civil War, a testament to the strength and determination of countless women of her era. Loretta Janetta Velasquez, another remarkable figure, chose a path fraught with danger and societal disapproval. Born into privilege, Velasquez abandoned societal expectations and journeyed into the heart of the Confederacy, her heart set on serving the cause she believed in. Disguised as a man, she enlisted in the Confederate Army, her true identity a closely guarded secret. Velasquez's story is a tapestry woven from threads of courage, cunning, and an unyielding spirit. She moved through the ranks of the Confederate Army, her every step a testament to her audacity. Her journey led her through the heart of the conflict, exposing her to the horrors of war. Yet, through it all, Velasquez's spirit remained unbroken, her resolve hardened by the trials she faced. She served as a scout, a spy, and even participated in combat, her courage and resourcefulness becoming legendary. The stories of Edmonds, Velasquez, Clayton, and countless other women who dared to break free from the constraints of their time serve as powerful reminders that the battle for equality is often fought on multiple fronts. These women, by embracing roles that society deemed inappropriate, paved the way for future generations to challenge gender norms and demand recognition for their contributions to society. Their legacy, though often overlooked in the grand narratives of war, shines brightly in the annals of courage and determination, a testament to the enduring human spirit that refuses to be limited by societal expectations. As the nation convulsed, torn asunder by the bitter realities of the Civil War, a different kind of battle raged, not on bloodied fields amidst the roar of cannons, but in the hearts and minds of a nation grappling with the institution of slavery. In this fight for the very soul of America, women emerged as powerful voices for change, their words echoing through the halls of power, their actions challenging the very foundations of a society built upon the backs of enslaved people. These were not soldiers in the traditional sense, their weapons not muskets and cannons, but pens and voices, their battlefields not Gettysburg or Vicksburg, but the public square, the halls of Congress, the pages of newspapers, and the hearts of their fellow citizens. They understood that the fight for freedom, for equality, for the very soul of a nation extended far beyond the battle lines, that true victory required a transformation of hearts and minds, a dismantling of the systems and structures that perpetuated the sin of slavery. Among these courageous women stood figures like Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, and Julia Ward Howe, their names synonymous with the long and arduous struggle for abolition. Tubman, a conductor on the Underground Railroad, risking her own freedom time and again, guided hundreds of enslaved people to freedom, her courage and compassion shining as beacons of hope in the darkest of times. Truth, a former slave herself, traveled the country, her voice booming with the righteous anger of the oppressed, her words igniting the flames of abolition in the hearts of all who heard her speak truth to power. And Howe, armed with the power of the pen, penned the immortal words of the battle hymn of the Republic, a song that would become an anthem for the Union cause, its stirring melody and powerful lyrics capturing the spirit of a nation fighting for its very survival. These women, and countless others like them, understood that the battle for freedom was not just a military campaign but a moral crusade, a fight that required the unwavering commitment of every citizen, regardless of gender, race, or social standing. Harriet Tubman, born into the shackles of slavery, her early life a testament to the cruelty and injustice of that institution, would rise from those chains to become a beacon of hope for countless others seeking liberation. Enduring unimaginable hardships, she escaped to freedom, yet her spirit remained tethered to those she left behind, her heart heavy with the knowledge that countless souls still suffered under the yoke of slavery. Driven by an unwavering sense of purpose, fueled by a faith that burned brighter than any darkness, Tubman answered a call that resonated deep within her soul. A call to action, a call to service, a call to become a conductor on the Underground Railroad, a clandestine network of safe houses and secret routes that offered hope and a chance at freedom to those fleeing the plantations of the South. With each journey back into the heart of darkness, she placed her own hard-won freedom at risk, her courage a testament to the boundless capacity of the human spirit to persevere even in the face of unimaginable danger. Her name, whispered in hushed tones amongst the enslaved, became synonymous with hope, with liberation, with the promise of a better tomorrow. They called her Moses, and indeed she led her people out of bondage, not across a parted sea, but through treacherous swamps and dense forests, guided by the North Star and an unwavering belief in the righteousness of her cause. Time and again, she ventured back into the lion's den, her determination unyielding, her spirit unbroken, her heart filled with compassion for those who suffered as she had suffered. Tubman's courage was not confined to the shadows of the Underground Railroad. When the Civil War erupted, she answered the call to service once more, this time as a scout, a spy, and a nurse for the Union Army. Her knowledge of the Southern terrain and her unwavering commitment to the cause of freedom proving invaluable to the Union effort. She moved through the shadows of war, a phantom figure striking at the heart of the Confederacy, her actions saving lives, her courage inspiring those around her. Sojourner Truth, a towering figure in the abolitionist movement, possessed a voice that resonated with the power of truth itself. Born into slavery, bearing the scars of that cruel institution upon her very soul, she rose above the limitations imposed upon her, her voice becoming a thunderous roar for justice, her words shaking the very foundations of a nation built upon the backs of enslaved people. With unwavering conviction, she traveled the country, speaking out against the evils of slavery, her words igniting the hearts and minds of all who heard her. Her mere presence commanded attention, her words carrying the weight of experience, the sting of injustice, and the unwavering belief in the inherent equality of all human beings. She challenged her audiences to confront the hypocrisy of a nation that proclaimed liberty and freedom while denying those very rights to an entire race of people. Julia Ward Howe, a woman of letters and a passionate advocate for social justice, lent her considerable talents to the abolitionist cause, her pen becoming a mighty sword in the fight for freedom. And so, we emerge from this exploration of the Civil War, a conflict that tested the very fabric of a nation, with a newfound appreciation for the often unsung heroines who shaped its course. These women, driven by conviction, by compassion, by an unwavering belief in the promise of America, transcended the limitations imposed upon them by society, proving time and again that courage knows no gender, that the fight for freedom and equality requires the unwavering commitment of all citizens. We remember Clara Barton, her tireless efforts on the battlefields tending to the wounded, her compassion knowing no bounds, her legacy living on in the very fabric of the American Red Cross. We recall Rose O'Neal Greenhow, her daring exploits in the shadows of espionage, her loyalty to the Confederacy unwavering, her story a reminder that even in the midst of war, truth can be a slippery and elusive thing. And we honor Harriet Tubman, her courage leading countless souls to freedom on the Underground Railroad. Her unwavering belief in the promise of a better tomorrow serving as an inspiration for generations to come. These women, and countless others like them, remind us that the history of the Civil War, like the history of any great upheaval, is not merely a chronicle of battles won and lost, but a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the power of conviction, and the enduring legacy of those who dared to fight for a more equitable justice for all. Now let's take a deeper dive into the lives and contributions of three of these very key women who played vital roles in the American Civil War,